Well, at the beginning of the new year, you kind of reflect and look back on what's happened, and that's what the Johnny Appleseed Metro Park District has done. They've got their annual report out, and joining us today, we've got the Executive Director, Tyler Blacken, to tell us more about 2024, and it was really a busy year for you guys, and you, on purpose, keep track, right, to show everyone this is what's happening.
Yeah, it was a really busy year, and looking back, and I know annual reports can be maybe a little bit of a boring topic, but the numbers that we track are very important for the Park District when it comes to grants, and when it comes to passing levies, and when it comes to just communicating with the public. So.
Right, yeah, well, and you got to make sure that you're having the people and the things in the right places for what people are going to enjoy, right?
Right, and it makes sense for different, levels of engagement from a staffing standpoint, but also volunteers, and it kind of affects everything.
All right.
So, yeah.
So, what are some of the key things that you want to bring out from the annual report? Because you do have a lot of numbers that I thought were interesting, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of numbers that we track, and we track them by department, and so. When you look from an overall Park District standpoint, we bring in about $3 million a year between our two levies. We just renewed those in 2023, and so we're set pretty well for a few years here. But we look at things like shelter reservations. We had a little over 600 of those last year, and so very important number to kind of keep track of, knowing, hey, what kind of maintenance items need taken care of. What are some trends that people are really gravitating towards? And so we look at those kind of numbers. We look at park visits, which I think people get a little bit confused with because it doesn't mean people, it's just visits to the park. And so when you look at that, it's very much, you could have people show up with 5 people in a van. Okay. And it's just counting vehicles as they come in. So it counts as a visit. There's a little bit of a multiplier with it, and we get our number of about 500,000 people.
I was going to say, that's like a lot.
Yeah, it is. It is, and it's very much, it's not like those are just one-time visits. There's a lot of people that visit the park on a daily basis, go for a walk, take their dog for a walk, or jog, or even go for a hike. So,
right, and you have public programs, and you had 235. That's a lot, too.
Yeah, a lot of public programs with quite a few people. We had over 48,000 people come out last year for public programs. And again, very important from an aspect of reaching the community, engaging the community, educating the community on what the Park District has to offer, but also what nature has to offer.
Right, yeah, exactly. So that means a lot of man hours for the people on staff too, right?
Yeah. So we've got a maintenance department. Really, it's our operations department. Under that, we have the maintenance department and the natural resources department. The maintenance department put in about 16,000 man hours last year. And so you're just tracking a lot of things like painting bathrooms or picking up trash, mowing, a lot of things that that people probably don't really think about when they visit the park. But they mean a lot to us when it comes to tracking things.
Well, and I know you've talked about before in the Soul of the Naturals that, the invasive plants and the species that can get into the parks. There was a lot of hours to get those out to make things better.
A lot of hours and a lot of acres. We had about 160 acres, give or take a few acres, treated last year for invasive species. And I joke with the Natural Resources Department that it's very much a job security thing when it comes to invasive species, because we've got plenty of them.
And so we have rangers, and so they're out there on call too constantly, right?
Yeah, and when it comes to the public safety aspect of the Park District, you don't want the numbers to be high. You want them to be a little bit lower.
That's true.
They did go down a little bit last year. We had about 400 calls for service. Those are things like making positive contacts with the community, people that are using shelters, but also people that are in crisis that need help.
Right,
that all fits within that scope.
I suppose, you probably have the occasional person that falls and, sprains their ankle or something like that, can't get up. That kind of stuff. All right. And then the naturalists, we love them. We have them on the show. Yeah, exactly. They've done a lot, too, a lot of programming.
Yeah, they have. They do a great job from engaging every age group, right? And so they look at preschoolers all the way through some of the senior citizens that are in some of the nursing homes and that kind of thing around the county. But we had about 48,000. Our goal was 48,000 last year, and we just broke it.
Wow.
So it was a great year from that perspective.
Yeah, keeping them busy. So. Is the annual report on the website or something like that?
It'll be on the website.
Okay, cool. So they can check it out. All right. Well, thank you, Tyler, for coming today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, don't go away. We'll look at the weather forecast next.